105.1, New York City Pop and R&B. Lester Holt, news anchor for NBC, nightly news, Dateline. And this Sunday, they're doing a Meek Mill special. I have Lester on the phone. Hi, Lester.
Hey, Angie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Real well, thanks.
So you got the first Meek Mill interview. I think you must have gotten it when, immediately upon release, because I started seeing clips so soon.
Yeah, we talked to him. He was, I think, maybe 18 hours out of prison. We sat down with him. He had not slept, but he was as thoughtful as ever and very reflective about his experience and what it could mean to other minorities.
Yeah, I know. And what's interesting is I was talking about this earlier about Meek. Like, he was a very, a household name within the hip-hop community before this. But I feel like he's become like this poster child now, right, of what's wrong with the justice system. He got some powerful people on his side. Jay-Z, I think, kind of woke the world up to his story when he wrote this op-ed that appeared in the New York Times last fall, and talking about, in his view, how the probation system essentially unfairly ensnares minorities, particularly minority men, and he thinks that this was the case, and so that grabbed a lot of attention. I mean, Michael Rubin, the co-owner of the 76ers, Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots. These are just some of the big names that have embraced him and his story and want people to take a harder look at the way we try to bring people out of the criminal justice system. How long is it how long is the interview on Sunday?
Well, we're still editing the hour. I mean, the whole interview lasted at least an hour. We spent some time walking the streets of Philly with him. We got some other pictures of him back at the location where he was arrested when he was 19 years old. But he's a very reflective guy, and he understands that he's free now on bail, but that he has a huge responsibility and to kind of pay it forward and on behalf of others who are still imprisoned, under this probation system that can easily snap you back for even the tiniest infraction. It doesn't even require an arrest and conviction, as we came to find out. And by the way, there's another fascinating point of this. We're talking about probation. They're now questioning the validity of his conviction.
Right.
It turns out the police officer who testified against him and whose testimony sent him to prison, apparently the DA's office had this list of police officers they were not to call. It was a do not call list. Do not call these officers to testify because they're deemed not credible.
Right.
So that came to light afterwards. So his lawyers are hoping the entire conviction will get tossed out.
Yeah, that's what I think. I know some other cases have been tossed out already because of that work that his attorneys have.
Yeah, it has to do with there was this field narcotics unit in the Philadelphia, PA, and there were some bad apples in there, and some cases have been tossed as a result. So there are many layers to this, but I felt privileged to sit down and talk with him. It's a fascinating story, and I think it'll get people to think about this issue and maybe see where they come down on it.
Wow, I can't wait to see it. So it airs on Sunday, which actually happens to be Meek Mill's birthday on Sunday. So the fact that he's free on his birthday is pretty great, and then also and
I'll tell you one of the cool things about this we got incredible access. So we get word he's getting out of prison. Our cameras were in Philly. They were there as he got out. They rode with him in an SUV onto the chopper that Michael Rubin had provided.
Wow!
And so we're in the air with him as he's making his way to the arena for the NBA playoff game that night. It was like 3 hours from a prison cell to courtside at the Sixers game.
I saw a video of him getting a haircut. He managed to squeeze in a haircut backstage at the
arena.
Right.
We're in the car with him, and he's FaceTiming with Kevin Hart, his buddy, and his sister and his mom. It was quite an in the moment.
Oh, so will we see some of that stuff in the special as well?
You bet we will. Yeah,
that's
part of it. We kind of follow his journey to freedom.
All right, so we can all watch Sunday, Meek Mill's birthday, on Dateline NBC at 7 p.m., and we'll all be tuned in, Lester.
Awesome.